Hey guys, this is J.J.E Media. My name is Cancer. This is the first ever podcast, first video of the year. We want to give a special shout out to Disturbed for supporting and sponsoring this video. We have some special guest stars today. We got Big Carlos, and then we got Lil Frank. Yeah. All right. And we're going to do a special recap of last year to start off our first ever podcast. By the way, before we start into the video, I am smoking weed, but it is legal in Massachusetts, and we don't advise anybody to do this. All right, so let's get right into the podcast. Some celebrity issues that happened last year. So we got Will Smith. I know you guys remember that nice-ass smack to Chris Rock. Don't start playing with his wife.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was talking about his wife.
Yeah, he don't want nobody talking about his wife. You know, and then he also had that other issue happen, you know, where there was controversial news that his wife was sleeping around with people and stuff like that. And then they found out the man's of the entanglement is gay.
What? He gay?
Yeah, the man from the entanglement is gay. He never slept with her at all.
So it was probably fake.
He never slept with her at all.
You don't think they was probably doing that to, what do you say? To, para llamar la atención.
Supposedly it was like covering him up. Supposedly it was covering him up.
I don't know.
But you're right, probably so. You know, he stayed in the media. Like we said, all publicity is good publicity. You know?
Pero esa galleta, I don't think it was fake. La galleta.
Yeah.
Like 21 said, if I was Will Smith, I would have smacked it with the blick.
Man, do your thing, 21. Do your thing, 21.
You would have smacked it with
Bro,
the...
you talking about my baby mama.
Either I'm going to smack him with the blick, I'm going to do it like Drake. Do your thing, 21.
You about to call somebody?
I'm going to call 21.
Oh.
I said, yeah, 21. I said like 21 said. 21 is the one. He's the one doing the action.
Mm-hmm. That shit crazy, though. Pero he could have waited for that nigga outside, though. You feel me?
Think so?
I mean...
Yeah, but Will Smith, it's been a while since he been from Philly.
I don't know.
My man's from Bel Air now. He don't do stuff like that. He don't wait for people outside.
Nigga, he didn't do nothing either. That shit, why?
I know.
Yeah, that opened that for me at first. I thought he was fake at first.
Me too. I thought it was part of the awards.
Till the world's reaction took place, I thought he was fake till everybody reacted so like it was real.
Like improv. You thought it was awards?
When they went back home and when he went back to his spot and he started screaming back at him too. That's when I'm like, this nigga being, this for real. This shit's real. Because the way he took the slap, it looked it was fake for me. You feel me? If you look at that, we're gonna show y'all some shit. But the way he took that shit looked fake.
I don't know.
You feel me?
Nah, craziest thing too was the reaction of
I'm not saying
Jada.
It was fake. I'm saying
it
looked
could be fake.
That's when I seen the video. I thought it was fake.
I gotta see the video again.
Nah, Jada's reaction was the craziest thing of that night. I feel like she
She
looked at him. She gave him a crazy look so that he can react towards the situation, which I feel like inspired him to get up and go and smack him.
Okay.
And then when he walked back, she was embarrassed by him slapping him
a little bit. But when she
and then she talked about him negatively in the press.
When Will Smith slapped Chris, she didn't really react to that. Like she didn't really what I mean? It wasn't that crazy till everybody when we started walking back.
Then she looked embarrassed because she saw the reactions of everybody around her.
You know, he started screaming.
Yeah.
When he started screaming too, that's when the embarrassment hit her face for real.
Shit, but if that was me, I would be screaming too. You know what I'm saying?
No, bro.
He exaggerated a little
bit.
He shouldn't get in the mic and embarrass him.
Nah, exactly. And like my man said, he should have waited for him outside if he had a problem with him.
He should have been like, yo, Chris Rock, you know what's so funny? She's sick. She got something. You out here making fun of it. Let's laugh, everybody. Let's clap for Chris.
Like, not to justify my actions, but if I was to react that way, or one of my friends, or someone like-minded like us, I feel like it wouldn't be more acceptable, but it would be more understood because we still haven't had that experience, that veteran experience to be professional. With someone like Will Smith, again, like I'm looking at it from like a biased point of view of like, me being a local. If I bring my wife to, to an orchestra or something, and somebody makes a joke at her or something like that, and I don't like it, I may react, in the moment a way that I wouldn't react, if I was thinking clearly. But again, at the same token, I can't. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We can't take away the accountability of the action either, because at the same token, I'm sure that he had several reminders while he's walking up on stage that reminds him that where he's at. Both looking around, the carpet. He's walking on stage to Chris Rock, something that he's not really ever done before like that. Out of anger.
But it could have been fake.
Right, that's true. But, up until now, nobody's really said it's fake, so that's more, a conspiracy.
That was a crazy way to start 2022. Mm-hmm. But check me out. What about what happened to Tory? That shit crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
Tory Lanez and the Meg Thee Stallion.
He went crazy, you feel me, with Megan and shit, but I'm saying, that's crazy, you know what I mean? That nigga got talent, you know what I mean? In his way, whatever.
Nah, but...
I think to end off the year, too, right?
Yeah,
to end the year off, he went to jail, right?
Did he hit her? I think it was a rose or something, but yeah. Nah, we ain't taking away what he did. We just saying.
To end the year off, right? He went to jail.
She big too, and he's my small.
Exactly.
What you saying? She big? What you mean? Like she a big celebrity, or what you mean?
Like she bigger than him, bro. You feel me?
Nah, chill. Nah, we playing. Nah,
yeah, she a stallion.
Pero, But nah, he shouldn't. Come on, bro. Same thing. Like you shouldn't resort to that. You feel me? He could have done a lot of other things if he really did shot her. But we don't know.
Okay. So another celebrity too that we want to mention is Johnny Depp. Y'all don't. I hope y'all didn't forget about what happened with Johnny Depp and his wife. That was some craziness. City Boy's up 1,000 points. But you got to remember, too, is that it's Johnny Depp that we talking about. That's as big as, like, Brad Pitt or something. Mm-hmm. You don't see that name on the news, in the court.
He been in the industry since he was young.
Yeah, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio being on the stand for something.
No cap.
So I'm sure most of the world was watching because they wanted to know the outcome of the situation. And I'm glad.
She was an actress. Oh, no, yeah, she was.
She is. She was in Aquaman. This is like one of her latest movies.
Aquaman.
She was
That's why Aquaman was ass.
And then
Aquaman was ass.
Yeah, bro, it wasn't that bad.
What?
Nah, it wasn't that
Marvel
bad.
Forever, my boy. Marvel Forever.
Bro.
Nah, but we need that DC sponsorship.
I fuck with DC
we need that DC sponsorship, but I don't know what the fuck y'all was doing by throwing her in that movie.
Marvel got the guap, but DC too.
Bro. No, I know. DC got the clout.
Got Superman, man.
Yeah, DC got the clout.
Come on.
Fact, they got Batman, they got this dude Joker.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really take those.
But anyways, back to Johnny Depp. Let's mention him. So I heard that his wife had shit on his bed, and he brought that shit up in court.
He was fucking the
lawyer.
He was fucking the lawyer.
Yeah, fucking the lawyer, my guy, and they both up.
That's why.
They won the case, and she got a percentage, and he walked off with his percentage. And she went off to do Aquaman.
She got something for that, probably.
Not facts, but shout out to my man Johnny Depp because he be holding it down for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He don't miss a day. He always be in character, dressing up like Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff.
We don't condone no abuse. We don't condone nothing.
No. You shouldn't be hitting nobody.
Nobody. Bro.
Oh, that's what happened. Who hit somebody?
So nah. They hit each other.
She was hitting him.
Oh, and he what? Self-defense?
Bro.
He self-defense?
She was the abuser.
Nah, she was hitting him, and he wasn't. You feel me? Physically and emotionally, all of that other stuff. I think that's what the emotionally case was about, bro. I don't know, but.
And then the shitting on the bed too, right? So that's how she emotionally hit him.
She was doing shit to him. And
damn.
Shit.
Yeah, I heard that she blamed on the dog, and I heard that he hit his dog or something, or he yelled at his dog, and then it was he felt bad that he did all that to the dog when he found out it was her. I don't know how you confuse dog shit with people shit.
They was on some stuff.
That's crazy.
They was on some stuff. Pero they got money, bro. You feel me? They can do whatever they want.
Facts. Now,
she fucked up her career, man.
You think so?
Yeah, no.
But remember, all publicity is good
There's no
publicity.
Aquaman
She's
too.
the SI.
Oh, there's no Aquaman too?
No Aquaman, bro.
Oh,
This
damn.
nigga fuck with nobody that has a.
Yeah, but she might be in the next what? Lava Girl. Shark Boy, Lava Girl, son.
I think she'll still
do something.
You know?
They'll still use her because she's still a familiar
She's still
face.
famous. And she got more famous because of the case.
Yeah, she's still a familiar face.
Nigga, she's gonna do some YouTube, some shit like that.
We're gonna bring her on the YouTube.
YouTube, you know what I
Yeah, she's
mean?
gonna be here next week. Stay
She
tuned.
gonna be on some, you know, where she was before this. Bro, she chatted on the bed. Like, come on, bro.
That's why.
So what do you think? You think she's about to make like a movie with Orlando Brown?
Nah, she's probably be in a documentary or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh,
Something
no.
like that. Yeah, she ain't. She wants to lay low. She wants to lay low. You feel me? She don't want to be in a movie right now.
Okay. So another thing though that we also got for you guys too as our last recap for the year is music. So with music, we've seen a lot of records be broken. We've seen a lot of controversial artists, a lot of up and coming artists too. A lot of old
females.
a lot of female artists. We also seen a lot of older veteran artists also coming up. Ice Spice, my man said Ice Spice. We can't forget Glorilla. Glorilla made one of the biggest come ups.
That's the
this
guy
year?
from London. I mean, but
London.
that's like a one-hit record.
21 Savage?
Yo.
Except for that man's from London.
Nah, bro. What's his name? C something Central C.
No,
I don't know who that is, no guy.
I'm not that.
But, you know, we-
Gay.
What?
That's all.
Well, how does it go?
Something about his bitch being gay.
Oh shit, nah.
How can I be sorry? Something. My bitch is gay. Play the song. Pull the song.
I don't know that one. But anyways, I think he's talking about someone that live like in his neighborhood or something. You know, talking about he just moved from London.
He's coming up though.
Yeah, he's coming up. Stay tuned for his shit. He got an up and coming single called "My Bitch Is Gay."
Bad Bunny out here doing crazy.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's crazy. So y'all heard that?
Bad Bunny got the biggest tour, profit or whatever.
Yep, out of any artist. I was hearing that he got a 90-10% flip. That he got a 90% deal. He takes away 90% of everything he makes. And
He
companies.
makes 90% of everything.
Yes.
That's fire.
And there is no other artist. I was watching.
Associated with him.
10%. That's
mad.
money.
Yep, I was watching a video.
Oh, 10% for the manager.
Yes.
Yeah, that's money.
Yes, that's
Oh.
it.
That's money.
That's it.
Just the manager.
Yes.
I don't know how much they got in the tour. I think it was around three. I don't know if it was 300.
He's the richest. He's one of the richest artists right now because of that.
Or some shit or 600. I don't know if it was 300.
Yeah. I was seeing that too. But you can't forget about Alpha. Llegó el jefe.
Eso es lo que está matando en realidad. Yo sé
No,
que...
facts. Now, do you think he's bigger than Bad Bunny?
No, obviamente no. Pero que el genre que el Alfa está haciendo, no por defender al dembow, no es lo mismo que el reggaetón. ¿Tú me entiendes? El reggaetón ya hacía mucho que era internacional y que si yo qué, que fulanito, pero el dembow no. El dembow ahora es que yo creo que la gente por ahí abajo lo están escuchando por España y vaina, porque ahí yo creo que va a poner a hacer los cuartos.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Y esa gente.
The Latino countries, you make a lot of bread if you're a successful Latino artist because, you know, you got all of the Central and South America that fucks with you.
Another artist that went crazy in 2022, Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Always.
Oh, no, always.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, no, Lil Baby always.
Talking about moves and
yeah, I think what he got that documentary.
Kodak.
Yeah, Kodak.
But he got
My name Kodak Black.
some
I'm like-
some moments in other years too, like similar like this one, like he pops up.
Nah, no, Lil Baby also released that documentary last year too. That was fire.
Didn't see it.
You should see it, bro. Fire, straight gas.
Young
Talking about his
Thug.
career. Oh man,
Nah.
YSL.
YSL. Now we're chilling. Hopefully they come out of that shit. You know what I mean?
We don't condone snitching.
We don't condone
That's what we
nothing.
saying.
We don't condone nothing. We don't condone nothing.
Yeah, we don't condone snitching.
None of that stuff.
But who was? I don't think who was snitching. That he took a deal.
I don't know, bro.
There was just plea deals.
But I don't
There
know.
was plea deals everywhere. That's all I know.
I don't know. I gotta see what he said.
Who?
Gunna.
It was it wasn't just Gunna though. It was like 7 other niggas talking
but
too.
I seen some shit Gunna were like, oh yes ma'am. He was like, oh yeah, yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Yeah, I seen one
that's
too.
how it be too, bro, cause that nigga's in jail. He's
I
trying
know,
to get out.
and there was a song too that somebody was talking about pushing plea.
You shouldn't be
Pushing
snitching.
please.
You shouldn't be. If you knew what you was getting into, you shouldn't be snitching.
You think so?
If you know what you was getting into.
No, you're right. Like, I got to read up more on that case. I don't know why we even talking about more about, like, Young Thug and stuff. You know, we need to be a little more educated on the situation. But I agree with my man's 100% that, you know, at least from where we come up from and, you know, the type of environment and the way we were raised, you know, if you wasn't raised that way, we understand, you know, if you don't have that principle or moral in the back of your head not to snitch, you know, but in the way that we were raised, at least, you know, in the local environment of Boston, we don't condone snitching.
¿Tú crees que a Young Thug le van a dar muchos años? Yo creo que él va a salir rápido.
What do you think is fast?
Él hizo ya like 7 months.
I think so, something like that or more.
So he probably coming now in like 1 more year. Give him like 2 more. Él va a ser como 3 años.
Think so?
Y va a ser, tú sabes, y que perro, y que si yo quién, y fulanito. Y tiene que no puede que hacer nada, y que si yo qué, tiene que ir a la casa. Porque esa gente tú sabes que tienen pile cuarto, brother. Y yo estoy seguro que Young Thug no estaba haciendo, él lo más seguro estaba diciendo que, pero ese tigre no estaba haciendo mucho, bro.
No, facts. Now, another thing that I think is really crazy about that situation, from the little bit that I have read up on, is that a lot of them are coming out and saying, oh shit, this weed is good. Crazy. Yeah, but we don't condone that again. A lot of people, or a lot of people that are involved in that case, I've been seeing that they've been admitting to what they did, and then mentioning that Young Thug, I believe, was present in the event of what they did, or that Young Thug told them to go do it, or gave them money to go do it, some stuff. And, you know, again, like I said, I need to do a little more research on the situation, but I think it's just interesting to know that, like, we're living in a time frame now where you can admit to you being a part of a crime and then no longer being at fault for the crime now because the law system is set up to pin it all on one person.
Because you helping them, like, solve the
bigger criminal, I guess.
Yeah.
Because had he would have been free, what they're trying to do is, like, profile him. They suspect that, you know, he would have continued to do these things or much larger things. I'm guessing that they wouldn't have caught him.
Probably.
And then the other guys are more like small time guys that are easily influenced.
It's crazy. I don't know porque, I don't know. But what happened to Young Thug's friend? What's his name? Rich Homie Quan. That's the guy who he came with.
I believe so.
And YSL is not connected to Young Money no more.
No, he branched off. He branched off and did his own thing. But I remember, too, I know that we're doing a recap of 2022, but I remember that Young Thug was involved, I believe, in a shooting, too, with Lil Wayne. Trying to shoot Lil Wayne at one time.
They said something
that
like
Birdman had sent him, I believe, paid him to go shoot Lil Wayne. Because Lil Wayne was, at the time, I don't know if y'all remember, he was making that case. He was trying to sue Birdman. I believe he was trying to sue Birdman, if I'm not mistaken, for $600 million. Saying that Birdman owed him $600 million. Okay. So last year we saw a lot of unfortunate events. A lot of rappers and celebrities were dying to unfortunate circumstances. One of those being gun violence. As you guys know, Takeoff, rest in peace to him. He was in a situation, that a lot of other rappers, up-and-coming rappers have also been involved in. A lot of local people, a lot of the local youth also suffer from, this chaining effect every day as well. It's, an unfortunate thing of 2022, but it's still talked about and looked at, going into the new year to 2023. What you think about that, brother?
Nah, bro. There's too many guns, bro. You know, people don't fight no more. There's just too much shooting.
You think the problem is guns?
Yeah, and I think guns have a lot to do with it. Yo no sé si ese sea el problema, que that's why a lot of people are getting killed. Pero yo creo que guns have a lot to do with it, because if there was no guns, right? Like, people were not gonna be able to shoot. There wasn't gonna be as many shootings. You feel me?
No, you're right.
There was not gonna be no shootings.
Right, no shooting.
There's no guns. There's no shooting.
But then you can also say there'll be more stabbings.
Lo más seguro.
You know, or other ways people will start running people over. I feel like people got to change, you know, the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like depression and anxiety and a lot of mental health issues is what causes a lot of these issues to keep going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as those issues, I feel like personally, in my own way, if they get better, I feel like those would be, you know, things that wouldn't necessarily be affected by owning a gun. Because, you know, a lot of kids, when they're more into gun safety and stuff like that, when they're taught at a younger age how to properly load a gun and clean it and unload it and all that stuff, it's been statistically proven that you have less of a chance of going out recklessly with a gun and doing stuff. In another aspect, though, we got another conversation here, so we're going to talk about also what happened before with Kanye. So there was also a lot of controversy ending off, you know, the last year. And one of those was Kanye, also Kyrie. So, you know, as you guys may know, Kanye has said some very controversial things that have set, you know, various crowds of people, one of those being the Jewish community. And, you know, that's a very controversial and very touchy subject. But we want to bring it up today, you know, just to recap and see what you guys' thoughts are on that today. You guys can write down in the comments down below what you guys feel about, you know, how that all transpired, you know, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end, whatever you guys feel like Kanye could have did differently, what he did. Also, you know, we're also speaking about Kanye and stuff, you know, Kyrie also had the same chain of effects. His was a little more less on the touchier side, but still also had the same impact and effect on several communities, like the Jewish community. Shout out to my man Kyrie, though, because he still held it down, let the people know where he stood with his opinion. You know, he wasn't purposely trying to offend anybody, but he let people know how he viewed that situation. Boozy badass, too. My boy Boozy is crazy. I love Boozy, but Boozy be, you know, sometimes he be speaking too much of the truth, you know, and it sometimes could be too much of an impact on the society. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Boozy, you know, was saying some controversial things last year, too, talking about Dwayne Wade's son. I don't feel, you know, any particular way about that situation. But it's a very interesting conversation, you know, that Boozy was very adamant on talking about how he felt, you know, about that situation with Dwayne's son, you know, being a whole transgender and wanting to, you know, remove certain genital parts so that he can move over to that, you know, other gender. You know, so that's some, you know, that's a conversation. What you mean?
You can't be telling people what they gotta do.
What, you mean like who?
Como Boosie, you gotta let people do whatever they want to do.
You
Pero
think so?
que también, you gotta let people, that shouldn't, if Boosie's saying something negative about what you're doing, that shouldn't be affecting anybody.
Nah, facts, exactly. At the end of the day, it's about your bread.
Mm-hmm. Pero
You know?
no, o sea, que yo siendo hombre, la gente se ofende mucho con eso también. De que con lo que dice otra gente o con lo que la otra gente está haciendo. La gente tiene que enfocarse en ello.
You feel like they picking and choosing? Like they picking like to be involved in situations that they don't need to be involved in. Like people choose to react or get emotional about certain things that they wouldn't get emotional about if it happened like locally.
Yeah, no. Yo siento claro, la gente tú sabes que le gusta la controversia. So, tú sabes que si hay alguien que está hablando de algo, ellos de una vez eso le importa.
Okay.
Eso es lo que yo creo, que la gente, si tú estás hablando de música y música es lo que está, ya todo el mundo es artista.
Okay. Now, YouTube, I'm going to give y'all my personal opinion about this. So, the way I feel about Dwayne Wade's son, I don't got nothing crazy to say. All I'm going to say is that he's still a minor, and I have a son now, too, and I wouldn't personally allow my son to make any decisions for themselves on that particular aspect until they're at least 18. The same way, because I was raised that I couldn't have tattoos or earrings, because I'm a Spanish kid, and I was raised by a Spanish cultural background that you couldn't have those things until you're much older and can think for yourself. But then also, I also agree with my man's over here that was saying that, like, basically, like, not that necessarily Boozy got to mind his business, but, at the end of the day, you shouldn't either let somebody else rule what you do, and it doesn't matter, if somebody else has an opinion, because no matter what, anybody's always going to end up saying something about you, regardless. So you got to allow it to just be what it is and go through one ear and go out through the other.
¿Cuántos años tiene el hijo de D-Wade?
I think he's like 16 or 15 or something like that.
And he transgender.
Yeah, wants to remove some parts.
He was born
a male.
And he wants to be female.
Yeah.
That's why.
I know.
That nigga don't say. He don't know.
He don't know what?
How you want to go to? He don't know about no.
No what?
About no vagina, bro. Like.
That was a very controversial topic. Let's move forward to sports, cause my man's over here is wilding. So sports last year. What was the best, sporting event that you guys feel like was going off, like went stupid last year? So for me, it was the fact that Messi.
El Mundial.
Yeah, the fact that Messi ended up taking it all. You know what I'm saying? All the way to Argentina. That was some crazy stuff.
That was crazy, not for real.
Yeah.
Everybody was involved in that.
Facts. Qatar was going crazy. Everybody was going crazy. Even Japan. We can't forget about Japan.
Ass.
I know, but we can't.
They was ass.
You said they was ass?
Ass.
Oh, man.
I don't think they won a game. They probably won like one game.
Nah, they was happy the fact that they even made it there. You know what I'm saying? So they was very grateful. I know. But what, Qatar didn't do nothing to get there?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, anyways, Japan, though. Let's talk about Japan for a second. So Japan went crazy. Japan, nobody thought they was going to make it as far as they did. Japan made it super far.
Japan.
Yep.
I don't remember them niggas.
What? That's crazy. You should go back and watch it then.
You know who played very good? What was this? Like South... No, it wasn't South Africa. It was some like South country. I can't remember the name right now. But I can't remember. If I remember, I'll let you know.
You sure it wasn't North Korea?
Nah, they was black.
They was black?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta let me know then.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But also, what else happened last year? So we also seen the craziest trade-off of the century, if not of the decade. No. Other way around, yeah. Craziest trade-off of the decade, if not the century. Brittany Griner for, what's that man's name? That Russian guy. What's his name?
I don't even know your name.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know his name, but yeah, you know.
We know he's
we know his kill streak. You know what I'm saying? My man had UAVs. He had it all. You know what I'm saying? So I know that he was known as what? The Lord of War or something like that. The Death Lord of War. And we traded him off for a WNBA star. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, me and my peoples, we were talking about it not too long ago, and we were all talking about like, a life for a life at the end of the day. You can't really put a value on one person's life over another. When you're looking at it morally or when you're looking at it for the facts.
Mm-hmm.
But politically, we can definitely get and argue the facts, and get more into the controversial side of like what one benefits more than the other to society or to the countries. Again, this is, a WNBA star that we're talking about, in comparison to the warlord of death or whatever my man's name was.
Steel.
You said it was a steal?
Nah. I said stale, like, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. You feel me?
Facts. That was the trade of the century. I don't know what y'all think, but that's another conversation that we also want to hear from you guys. If you guys feel like that was a W or an L on either side, we want to hear what you guys personally feel about that. Also, if you guys agree with us that, a life for a life at the end of the day matters. Anything that you guys feel like, hasn't been said about that conversation this year, leading into this new year, we would love to hear all about it and know exactly what you guys feel about that. Appreciate you. What's another one that we haven't mentioned that's crazy? So we're talking about sports. And at the end of the day, we completely forgot about this, is that we from Boston. Let's talk about for a second how far the Boston Celtics have come in literally the last, 3, 4, 5 years. Both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum dominating the paint, dominating threes, everything, doing it all. Marcus Smart, we got Al Harford, everybody doing crazy work. Nobody thought they was going to make it to the finals. Everybody doubted them. At one point, even I doubted them last year during January when they was down bad. But then leading up, literally up until the finals, they they just stepped it up and did some crazy work. Unfortunately, we couldn't beat, the Warriors and Steph Curry, but the fact that we even made it there that far after so much doubt.
Was having sex with one of the CEOs.
Oh, I forgot about that. That one's crazy too. So all I know is that, I know that my man was married to a Ferrari, and I don't know about y'all, but, it looked like he was messing with a Chrysler, and I'm not hating on Chrysler because I got a Chrysler myself, in cars, I'm not talking about ladies, but car-wise, I got a Chrysler, and I wish I had me a Ferrari. But yeah, that was some crazy stuff, and unfortunately my man's now has been sitting out, the rest of the season. Even leading into this, 2023 season, very briefly, he's still sitting out. But yeah, my man's was putting it down last year with the Celtics. He was definitely putting in some work. So yeah, even leading into this new season too, the 2022-2023 season, the Celtics have literally remained the number one team. And even, I know we're doing a recap of last year, but even into the first and second week of January, they are still the number one team in both the East and West conferences, which, we got to give an applause for that for just a second, because that alone is crazy.
They started playing good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But then now they going like this down.
Yeah, I feel like they're catching up to the playbooks.
I think the other teams.
They're starting to catch up on the playbooks, but we locked up my man Luka last year to finish off for Christmas.
They lost 2 games to Miami.
Yeah.
To Orlando.
Yeah, to Orlando.
I don't know what's going on there. Orlando,
right, and then we also couldn't win the rematch either to the Warriors, which was unfortunate because everybody thought that, we finally had that respect, aside from also the Warriors being in 10th place when that game happened. Super crazy. But another topic that we also got for y'all today is, I know that this is a controversial topic that was talked about overly, excessively last year, but we still want to, shed some light onto it, is the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. We've been reading up, about it and stuff, but, it's just very crazy that, or very interesting, rather say, that, countries can't come to an agreement, where they have to resort to war. And unfortunately, this has been going on for, the dawn of time since the very beginning.
That's why.
Yep, and it's crazy because from my knowledge, both Russia and Ukraine were once, brothers and sisters. Ukraine, I believe, was once part of Russia, if I'm not mistaken, and then they went independent, which was a major step up for them. And I will say that Ukraine, we thought, or the world thought, I guess, that, it wasn't gonna be able to put up much of a fight. And not to get too controversial, but, at least they have been, pushing back, the resistance basically in that. But again, we don't speak on what side, we're really partaking on, because we don't want to get too political. But it's just interesting, to know about both of those views.
No, la gente tiene ya, es como tú dices, la gente tiene que dejar eso de guerra ya, brother. ¿Por qué la gente andan de que matándose de que por tierra? No entiendo.
No, exactly.
Ya estamos en civilizados, ya se puede hablar. Yo no entiendo
Right.
cómo esta gente está de que en guerra todavía.
If we still gonna be talking about war, what we need to be doing is talking about the intergalactical wars. What are we gonna do when the aliens come and we over here all fighting?
Ahí makes sense.
Humans.
Like that kind of war.
Right.
Where you fighting like another thing. Like another, pero de que we
Like
all
the
kill
dinosaurs
each
or
other,
something. Exactly. It don't make no
that
sense.
shit makes no sense.
And not to get all too on the conspiracies and stuff, you know, I don't know what you guys' beliefs are on aliens and stuff, nothing like that. But I'm just trying to say, like, the fact, like my man said over here, the fact that, like, we all live on the same earth. Think about it as, like, living all in the same household. The fact that we all can't come together and try to compromise with each other in the conflicts that we have on a daily basis, whether that be personal, local, or, you know, on a world scale. The fact that we have to, you know, fight it out all of the time and cause violence against each other just to try to get our point across is, you know, just insane. Again, like we were saying, like, we had made a joke, but, you know, in that same token, like, what if something really was to show up tomorrow and pop up and wanted, you know, all the smoke with us? Like, what then? Would all the countries come together and make, like, a civil alliance for, like, a year or so to resolve the situation, or would we still be fighting in our own battles and also trying to fight off whatever the fuck just came over here?
They gotta come to a better way of like arguing, fighting. Like
right.
He cannot be killing people, bro. That shit makes no sense.
Right. And then on a less conspiracy topic that, you know, relates back to the situation is, like, for instance, climate change. How are we still all fighting to resolve our issues on this earth to see who stays here and who doesn't? But at the end of the day, climate change is literally one of the biggest things that you guys could literally see the impact of last year. You know, a lot of places during, a lot of places down south that never get cold, you know, we're having snow. For the first time, having a snow blizzard. Mm-hmm. Then places like up here in Boston that I've been living all my life, I've seen the weather patterns all my life. Mm-hmm. It still hasn't. We didn't even get a white Christmas for December 25th. How does that make any sense?
It's been like that for a few years now, where it doesn't even snow like that.
Right. Exactly.
It's crazy. And
it's crazy. And then, like, you know, in the summertime we having cold days where it's in the 40s and 50s, and in the summer, then in the winter time we get hot days. All the way in, like, the 70s and 80s. I remember back in, like, November, we had, like, a week or two that was all, like, 80s and 70s. And that's just, you know, that's just crazy. The ice is melting. A lot of stuff is changing. Gas pollution. Also, you know, inflation last year was really crazy. The gas prices went up to the highest it's ever been, at least in my book. I went from paying, like, what, $3-4 a gallon to having to pay, what, $6, $7, $8, $9?
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, and that all goes back to that war, which is all, you know, crazy. Like, you know, all the resources that we have on this earth. And when we, you know, start having issues with each other, we start getting all greedy. Mm-hmm. You know, we had to start.
Inflation was because of the war, I think.
Yeah, we had to buy gas from somebody else because I think Russia was our plug with the gas.
No, but it went back down.
You said it went back down? Yep.
I don't know what they did, pero bajó bastante.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. All right, guys, so this brings us to the very end of the video. We really appreciate you guys staying with us up until now. This is, again, our very first podcast of the year, our very first podcast ever. We want you guys, if you guys get some time, to just go down in the comments, comment whatever you guys, you know, was most interested in the video. Give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe if you guys can. It really helps us out, and we really appreciate it. Again, we also want to give a special shout out to Disturb, and we'll be back with some more.